Our kids used to have a favorite book. They asked me to read to them all the time. It was Alexander's Awful, Terrible, Very Bad, No Good Day. And you know, I knew exactly what it was talking about. Because when I was a little boy, my mom called me in one day. I'd been waiting for my dad, who was a jungle pilot, flew off into the Amazon every day, and I'd wait for him to come back. We were just, I mean, he was my hero. My whole life revolved around him. And then Mom called me and took me into her room one night and said, "Stevie boy, your daddy's never coming home to live with us again." And I just knew she was wrong, because if my dad wasn't coming home, there was no reason to go on living. But you know, as the years went by, I found out that God has a plan even in those darkest times. In fact, oftentimes now, when I see those awful, terrible, very bad, no good days coming, I know God is doing something. I thought that that was the worst thing that could happen to me in life, but it wasn't. Years later, married, my wife and I had 4 children, 3 boys, and we finally got it right and had a little girl. And our little girl promised me, Stephanie, I made her promise me she'd never grow up, and she said, "I promise." But she did. She went away to college, and she was at college for a year, and then a Christian singing group asked her to travel with them. They were gone to India, gone for a whole year. I didn't see my little girl. I mean, it was the longest year of my life. And then she came home. What an exciting day. We went down to the airport to get her, and one of the men who had speared my dad to death when I was a little boy, now a member of our family, who loved me and adopted me as his son, he was there, and we went down to the airport, and Stephanie came off the plane, and life was so good. I thought, God, just beam me up. It can't get any better than this. We went home. We were having a welcome home party for Stephanie. And during our welcome home party for my little girl, my only girl, she had a massive cerebral hemorrhage and died. It was such a raw, terrible thing that I thought I wouldn't survive it, and I thought my wife wouldn't survive. But you know what? We had learned to trust God step by step, little steps at a time, until finally, like it says in James, our faith had begun to grow strong and steady. And then it says, then you can trust God no matter what happens, know that all is well, not because life is going the way you planned, but because we know that God dearly loves us. And we know that He has a plan, and that plan is for our welfare. And our job is to be obedient, to trust Him. You know what? I realized what God did for us. I'd never really understood it. That He took His only Son and He planned His death at the hands of evil men for me. And when my only little girl died, I realized this is my chance to show God that I really love Him. If He would trust me with His only Son, then now's my chance to trust Him and to believe that He has a plan, even in taking my only little girl. The man that was killed with my dad said, "He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose." And I say, let's let the great author of life, let's let Him write the story, and let's trust Him in it.